Hi everyone, welcome to this week's instalment of my Flosstube video. It's been a while since I've done this, about 3 weeks, and I feel like I'm out of practice. I feel like there's a bit too much room up here, but I'm not going to make you seasick. I am Rach from Rara's Realm. I come to you from the South Island of New Zealand, and I have been sharing my stitchy progress. If this is your first video of mine that you've watched, welcome. Have a look at some of the others. I post up until the last couple of weeks. I have been posting weekly, and I am working on a rotation, but there are changes afoot. If you have been watching me all along, welcome back, nice to see you, and I shall crack on. I have 3 things to show you and some haul. Now, if you are a regular, you'll know I had some time away, so I couldn't post 2 weeks ago because I was driving between 2 cities in the lower half of the North Island, and then last week I was back from holiday, but I only got about 2 goes of stitching while I was away, so there wasn't really anything to show. And I didn't actually end up stitching much last week either, so it's all a bit abysmal. But I have been thinking, and I've got a hair out of place. So what I thought I'd do is show you the 3 things that I've actually worked on, I think, since I last recorded a video. I actually didn't go back and look at that video to know where I was at, but I kind of know. I'll show you my haul. I've had 2 orders come in. I've got one circling the globe somewhere and one I placed at the weekend, so it hasn't shipped yet. And I've just bought a PDF. Yeah, not buying stash is not working very well. I should maybe put that in my bullet journal tracker, shouldn't I? Don't buy stash. Anyway, alright, these are in no particular order. I'll just show you as the pile is. So I'm working on Little House Needleworks Farmhouse Christmas. I'm only on part 3 still. Still abysmal, really. And I'm pretty sure that when I showed you last, I had the top of the house done, the tree, the snowman is done, the border is done. So I have done a pathetic amount more. I've added the roof of the lower story and the part there, and that's your lot. And this is one of the ones I want to have finished this year. We'll come to that. If I show you, that's part 3. That's parts 1 to 3, and this is on the called for fabric with the called for threads. The next one I have that I actually took away, I took away my presidential blue box, so I had 2 projects in that. This is a free chart, which is why I'm showing you the chart. This is the bottom half, and I think I've done that. I was part way through that, and the rest I've still got to do. That's the bottom half of the chart, the pattern. So I have finished that motif that I had started. I think I was sort of in possibly where you see the colour change on the thread. And then I've made a start on the bottom. This is a squirrel here. Yeah, and this is the whole piece. It's getting harder to show it, so that's the extent of it now. So this is my next main piece that I'm working on to finish, this Quaker. It's Quaker in 6 parts, or Quaker R6 mains in my worst French ever. I'll show you the top actually. It's available in a group on Facebook. You can see that. I'll hold it still. Try to hold it still. And the other project that was in my presidential blue box is the Shakespeare's Peddler Antique Scissors and Spools. And when I showed you this last, I'm not sure if I had got the O done or the S. And I had pretty much got the stuff on this side done. So this is where we are at now. So I've got the whole word finished. Please don't tell me there's a spelling mistake. I'm looking at it backwards, but I'm pretty sure there's not. I've added this pair of scissors and another heart, the border all the way across the bottom. So there's a couple of pairs of scissors, some more spools and hearts, and a bit of a border here. So this should be finished soon, she says. For a little piece, and I didn't actually look at when I started this, for a little piece it's taken a blimmin' long time to do. It's because I'm fitting it in around other things. So that is that. So those are the three things I've done some work on over the last couple of weeks. Not as much as I should have done, but I didn't have the opportunity. Didn't have the light or the opportunity in some of the places. One motel, there was a lovely light directly above me and I could work at night, which was great. But that's about it. While I was, just before and just after I went away, I got a couple of orders in. Excuse me. The first thing I ordered is it's called a Sassy Jack's stitching exclusive, but I actually ordered it from Linen and Threads in Australia, who was working with Sassy Jack's, I guess is the way to put it, for this release. This is a special edition Hands Across the Sea samplers. It's Esther Benson 1739. Quite amazing. One of the reasons that I got it is, which is very silly for the amount of money it cost me to buy this chart, because it's got London. I haven't actually read the blurb. I don't know if this is a religious symbol or something in one of the parks in London. There are, I'm thinking specifically if you know London at all, if you know Clapham Common in South London, there is a band rotunda. Doesn't look exactly like that. Yeah, no, I think that's something because it looks like that's a door. Anyway, forget me. Just ignore me. Just look at the pictures. So that'll just get filed away in the one day it'll get stitched pile. I kind of was sucked in special edition, and I'm a bit like that, you know. Ooh, I think I want to have one of those special edition things. Anyway, so that is one thing. Then I got the last two parts for Farmhouse Christmas. So this is part 8, called Farm Folk. And this is part 9. Oh, you hit my neck. Bar Black Sheep. I noticed in the Facebook group for this today, someone's replaced the sheep with a pig, which was quite cute. I also got parts 7 and 8 from Summerhouse Stitch Works Fragments in Time 2018. Again, if you've seen any of my previous videos, when I first got these I was a bit ummy and ahhry about them. I still am, but I will make sure I've got all the parts, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. If I'll keep them or sell them on. I don't know. That's quite nice with the bird in it. So that's parts 7 and 8. I don't actually know how many parts they have in these. If you know Summerhouse Stitch Works better than I do you know how many parts they have in their Fragments of Time? I guess I could find out. Then the next thing I got is a Brenda Gervais, one of her new releases. This is Betsy Snyder 1822, which is quite nice. I quite like the house. I haven't looked at the colours or anything like that. It looks quite pale there. I hope it'll be slightly more colourful. Otherwise I might have to take some dramatic license. Then I ordered, this is a reprint, not an old version because it's papery, not cardboardy. This is Prairie Schooler Christmas Samplers, and I primarily got it, I'll just go in slowly, for the middle one, the Night Before Christmas verse. That would be my main reason. But I'm quite happy to take elements out of the other one. There's actually a Father Christmas there, and a little, you can make a Christmas small with that one. So yeah, so that's Prairie Schooler. And the last thing is something that I have had on my radar for a while, and I think Teresa Kitten Stitcher is stitching it, possibly. But it just made me remember that I really must get it and add it, even if I don't have any plans. And this is Cooper, Kathy Barrick. He's just fabulous. I think he would look great. I've got, I think they're Carriage House samplings, Frederick and Frederica. I think that'll look pretty cool together, but he's cool, Cooper. So that is my stash. I had hoped the one that's travelling the globe might have turned up today. It was put in the post 10 days ago, but maybe it'll come in our regular post tomorrow, so we will see. Okay, so that's the end of show and tell. What I thought I would mention is my change of rotation. So I have 3 projects that I want to get finished this year. Alright, let me recap. I started the year with 8. I have finished 1, but I've added in the scissors, so I've still got 8 projects. And of those 8, I want 4 finished at the end of the year. So I have decided to completely throw out my old rotation as of today, and I am going to do Monday to Friday on one of the 3 main pieces that I want finished. So I'll get this as the other one. So this is the other one that I want to get finished, Little House Needleworks Orchard Valley Quilting Bee. So I'll give this Monday to Friday, and then at the weekend I will do the scissors, antique scissors, so hopefully that will be finished in the weekend. The Quaker, those are the scissors. The Quaker is the other one that I want to get finished. That should be the next one to finish really, because it's already over halfway. And the remaining one that I want to work on is Farmhouse Christmas. I want to try and get this finished too. So the 3 of them will just rotate each week, a week on one. So every 3 weeks it'll come up again. And hopefully with 5 days each project I can put in some really good work. And then at the weekend I will work on my bigger projects that are going to take 2 or 3 years to finish. So they'll still get a little bit of movement, a little bit of progression, but they are taking a back seat. If I can achieve this goal and get these finished by the end of the year, then my plan for next year is to look at starting some more at Stitch Mania in May. So between January and May, those big projects that are going to take a long time are going to get 2 slots in my usual rotation. If you're new to me, my usual rotation is a 40-day rotation with 8 projects and 2 free slot blocks, if that makes sense. So each project gets 4 days, and then I have 2 4-day free slots to either do a catch-up, a small, whatever I want to do. So if I can achieve the goal of finishing these 3 pieces, well 4, including the scissors, by the end of the year, then I will start my rotation again on January 1, and my big projects, which is Hawk Run Hollow, Garden Series Club, Santa's Village and Lucy Calcott Sampler, they will each get 2 slots per rotation. I'll do a small in the free slots, just something different just to keep the interest going. And then when Stitch Mania starts in May, I'm going to add in 4 new projects. And I kind of have one in my mind already, but I'm not making any more choices until nearer the time when the new market stuff comes out, plus obviously whatever I've accumulated, which is quite a lot. This year has taught me that some of the ones that I thought would be quite quick haven't been, but that's partly the rotation and sometimes the fact that I might only stitch for half an hour. So I want to make sure I have some smaller pieces, even smaller than Harvest Keeper that I was doing, because that took, time frame wise, took a long time, but day stitching it probably didn't, if that makes sense. I've kind of got to get my head around all that sort of thing. So I'm also thinking, with that in mind, there's not going to be a lot of stuff to show. So I'm probably just going to do my videos fortnightly till the end of the year. So at least there are 2 or 3 things to show each time, or 3 or 4 really. Otherwise, yeah, I just think they'll be 5-minute quick videos with not much to show, and it's probably pointless. I don't know. So that is my plan. So this week starting, I will be doing Quaker, because that's the one I want to finish next, because it's the closest to finishing. So I will give Quaker a good go, and at the weekend I will try and get the scissors finished. And then next week I will probably do, I haven't decided which of the 2 Little House ones I'll do, but I'll do one. And then at the weekend I will do a big I'll pick one of the big ones. I'll probably kind of just do them in order. I haven't really thought about it. So I'm waffling. I'm going all over the show now. I think that's all I had to share. I have paid my first instalment for my floss club through Mind My Needle here in New Zealand. If you're a Kiwi or an Aussie and you're interested in perhaps joining a floss club for Weeks Dye Works and or Gentle Arts, Sam at Mind My Needle, which is on Facebook, on Etsy, and she has her own YouTube channel, is just starting. I think the payments for the first month have gone now. I think the deadline has been passed, but it's a monthly thing, so you can always make contact and you can build up your stash of overdyed threads, which is kind of my main stash acquiring goal now. I'm beginning to get to the point where I've got all the charts that I really want. I've just remembered something, and now I'm struggling to put more than 2 or 3 into an envelope to send. So now that Farmhouse Christmas has finished, which was a monthly thing, I don't have to buy every month now, which will be a good thing as well. The other thing I meant to mention, and I was going to print it off in time, but I haven't, I have just purchased the Tiny Modernist Christmas 2018 Stitch Along. If you're on Instagram, have a look at I think it's called Santa's House Sale, something like that is one of the hashtags, or Tiny Modernist Sale, and have a look. They're just starting to show pictures now. I saw, I think Shannon in Canada had a picture on Instagram this morning of this darling little snowman, so I went investigating. And I've either understood it completely wrong or it's a really good deal, but I've paid $15 US, which I understand it to be all the parts, or it's $15 a part. But I don't think that's right. I'm sure it said $15 for all 6 parts. So I haven't printed off the first one. I'm not starting it this year. I'm just gathering the pieces and watching it come to life. So that is everything. So I shall go and get this mumble up onto YouTube. I'll check it, make sure it's at least half decent. And I will catch you in 2 weeks' time, I think, for the time being. Unless anything dramatic changes, or I finish the Quaker this week or something like that, which won't happen. I will be back in 2 weeks. I think that's how I'm going to do it for now. Alright, so have a good fortnight, stitch everything you want to stitch, buy everything you want to buy, and I will catch you again soon. Thanks everyone, bye.